Hello, my name is Kieran James, Australia. The first time I know about Indonesian metal was about 2006. I read the magazine Terrorizer, and then I see Jasad in the advertisement for Severed Records, and then also 2010 Death Vomit, they tour Australia, and I saw the show. So I got interested in Indonesian metal after that, and then I come to visit Bandung and Jogja, 2011. Many reasons. I think because some people don't expect Indonesia will have any metal scene because it's Muslim country and developing country. But actually it had the biggest scene in the world maybe for death metal and for punk and for hardcore. And also for me personally, I like Indonesia because it's cheap for travel and it's very humble people and very relaxed and very friendly place. The culture is different. It's good. Yeah. So, and I get to know many friends over many years. Alone, yes. I think first time I go to Indonesia was 2004, but I just go to meet a girl, and then it was a rich girl, and then the girl broke up with me very fast. So then later, 2011, I come back. I go to Bandung and meet Jasad. So then I thought it's better to meet band instead of meet girl, more safe. 2011 February, when Pop-Up's still in Jasad. Took some of the last picture of Pop-Up that time in Jasad. Pop-Up already had his motorcycle accident and leave Jasad. And Bobby leave Bleeding Corpse, I think, 2012. So a lot of change happened. But back then the scene was very big and very strong and very active.
Yeah.
We got the website, Busuk Chronicles, and this has been going for maybe over 10 years. It's got interview with many band, mostly Indonesia band, but not only Indonesian band, but mostly Bandung and Ujung Berung bands, mostly death metal, but also some other genre. And also Facebook, yes. Also I write books, academic journal article about Ujung Berung scene and Ujung Berung community, and things like the scene change, the scene growing, and the scene maybe declining, and then looking at these things, and how the community works, how the community operate. Yeah. You know, I told you. I got the contract from the academic publisher Palgrave. So far I wrote the book, 130 page, the first draft. I think maybe 2 chapter on Bandung, 1 on Surabaya, 1 on Madura, 1 chapter on Jogja, but no chapter on Jakarta. So maybe this is like a joke or maybe a statement, just to be funny. So I hope at the moment just write from my memory. And it's so much fun because I can write about all the people and the show and the changes I saw, just writing from the memory, and then later I go back and improve it. And I hope one day to get the Indonesian book, get the translate, but I don't know how, but I want to, yes, because then more people can read it.
Yes.
I think some people now, they know about it more than before, but still not very well known because I guess Indonesia is far away, and if you're in UK, then there's so many other countries, so many other bands, so many other metal scene. Maybe they don't know much about Indonesian metal, but I think a few people know. So one time in Scotland, I was in the shop, and then a young guy come up to me, and I had my Bleeding Corpse hoodie, and he know the band, and then he just said Bleeding Corpse, and he walks away. So I think some people do know, maybe people in the underground, maybe the young people, they got the time, they want to explore the different scene and the different metal, but I always wear the Indonesian metal shirts and the hoodie in Indonesia, in Scotland, in Indonesia, everywhere. So maybe more people will come to know Indonesian metal, especially because of the internet, and also because some bands like Just Sad and Beside and Burger Kill, they tour Europe. Just like Devo in the past, they toured Australia a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think maybe about 10 times. But the last time was 2019, before the pandemic. And I was very sad that I can't go back because of pandemic for 2 years. And Scotland had a very severe lockdown, maybe 2 years of lockdown. So I can't travel. And then after that, the air ticket prices really rise up. So very hard to go back. Because I live in UK now, it's much further. Live in Australia is not too bad, not too far. So I haven't been back for 7 years now, so 6 years, so it's very good to come back, of course. Yeah, this trip we interview two of the young bands, so I think Papa and Bobby used to tell me a long time ago, I need to know the young bands. That's true, we need to know the young bands. So we did interview with Purature, travel to the coffee shop in South Bandung, and interview two bands. So this is a scene regeneration, so it's important, and it's interesting, and it's good that these bands come up now and they follow in the tradition of the pioneer bands. So it's very good, and it's important that they keep the values and they keep the tradition and the history of the Bandung death metal.
Yeah.
And they know, I talk to them when they go to tour Sumatra or they tour Java, because they're from Bandung, they get so much more respect and attention, and they appreciate it. They say this is responsibility for us, and they know that the pioneer band that built up the scene, they owe them something because they gave the pathway for the young bands. But this trip I will visit Bandung, of course, Jakarta. I had to go to Jakarta because they stopped the airplane flight from Singapore to Bandung. It doesn't exist now. Also, I will visit Surabaya. And maybe Madura, I hope again, yes. Madura were always interesting for visit. I think mostly I write about the Indonesian metal scene because it gives it a focus, and it gives it more direction to the study. And it's impossible to learn about every scene in the world now. Back in the 80s, you could know every band, every album you could know. Now, impossible. Too many bands, too many albums. But we've done interviews with bands in Hong Kong. I've done interviews with bands from Czech Republic in black metal, hardcore, and two bands from Hong Kong. So, open to interview every band of every genre. As long as they're not covers band. We have some interviews in Indonesian on the website because I had a list of 10 questions, and then some friend translate them to Indonesian language. So I can send the question to the band in Indonesian, and they can write Indonesian answer and send back to me. So I can't read it, but it doesn't matter, because the band need to get the promotion. So if it's in Indonesian language, we find on the website more readers, more people read it. Like the most popular interviews on the website are with Bleeding Corpse and Jihad, and these are in Indonesian. We have English, we have Indonesian. You can read English, you can read Indonesian, but the Indonesian one, they get more people reading it. For me, I'm very much old man, old school, like Papa. But I think Papa younger than me, I think maybe. So when I grow up, I listen to the traditional heavy metal, and then the thrash metal, and then the old school death metal. So, but for the book, it's about death metal, because you need to put a boundary around the book, because otherwise it becomes too big. So even not much Burger Kill in the book, because not death metal. Nothing about the band, like personally. So the book is just about the death metal, but in the website we interview band, every genre, power metal, black metal, death metal, hardcore. As long as they want to do interview. Yes. I think for the different genre, I would say, for power metal, maybe Valerian from Surabaya, Umbra Mortis from Jakarta, For death metal, I would say maybe Jihad and Safa. Tenggorokan from Kediri, of course Devo, Death Vomit. Jagal is a very good band from Surabaya. Of course, I must say Dismemberment Torture definitely is a favourite band for me too. Black metal, maybe I like Sethos because they're very different, and also Ashtarotham. I hope I say it right, Ashtarotham. And for black metal, I also like the EP that was done by Yaya, Spellforger. It's kind of in a very old school speed and thrash metal style. Because I think Indonesian band, you'll find in every genre in the world there'll be some Indonesian band.
Yes.
Maybe even Celtic punk, which is very funny. You got to ask me the most funny Indonesian band name. Last word, maybe we need an interpreter. Maybe. I think to be serious, I think we have to say maybe now we can see, looking back, the Ujung Berung scene in the beginning. They really did a very good job to build the scene up from nothing. And then they built a community, and they had many good bands, and they had a good ethic, and they could promote themselves very well. This is Bandung style, but I think something about Bandung people have the self-confidence. They believe that Bandung is the centre of the world, you know. They have this belief. And I think the other cities in Indonesia, maybe they don't have it like that. So the Ujung Berung bands can tour East Java, they can headline. And then maybe Ujung Berung became famous around Indonesia, maybe around Asia. So that's why I tell the young band, you have to keep Ujung Berung, keep the name, even though many people now, they don't live here. Only Papas still live here. So, but the name of Ujung Berung is very important for the mythology and the history of Indonesian death metal, because it's very famous around Indonesia. Every metalhead in every part of Indonesia will know the place.